This is basically the lore of the DLC summed up unnecessarily quickly. Miquella wanted to be a god and make the world a gentler place, and needed somebody strong to be his consort/lover, and so he chose his brother and possibly one-sided love, Radahn. Radahn, being normal, basically said, "No, I will not fuck my brother," and declined his offer. And Miquella didn't like that at all, so he came up with a plan to manipulate half of his family. While Miquella was still cocooning in the Erdtree, he had Malenia go to Caelid so she can kill Radahn so Miquella can steal his soul. And around this time, Miquella enchanted Mog, stripping him of any free will, and manipulated/forced him to kidnap him while he was still cocooning in the Erdtree, and to lay with him to do a blood ritual so he can have access to the Shadow Realm. It wouldn't be a From Software game if it didn't have unnecessary incest. Well, part of the plan failed when Malenia didn't kill Radahn, and she ended up nuking Caelid in the process because she was a sore loser. The fight basically ended in a stalemate. Radahn lost most of his sanity and constantly has to feed on bodies in order to stay alive. And Malenia worsened her scarlet rot, making her unable to even search for Miquella. It's not until our character Tarnished comes in to continue Miquella's plan accidentally. We end up killing Radahn during the festival fight, giving him a warrior's death. Soon after this, we end up killing Mog, freeing him from the enchantment that Miquella placed upon him. And there we see Miquella's dead body that's tethered to the lands between in Mog's palace. And that's where we meet Leda, who assumed that we were also a Miquella follower, because we ended up killing Mog, which evidently was part of Miquella's plan. Once we interact with Miquella's dead corpse, we're transported to the Shadow Realm, and soon after we find out that Mog's body was stolen while we were traveling the Land of Shadows. We also get a notification that somewhere a great rune was broken. This turns out to be Miquella basically killing themselves, shedding their physical body within the Shadow Realm. All of this was done so he could become a god, and all that was left was to put the final part of his plan into action. Using Mog's body that he stole and Radahn's soul, Miquella essentially revived Radahn, enchanting him at the same time. In summary, he basically used Malenia as a pawn so he can get together with his brother Radahn, and ended up sleeping with his other half-brother Mog in the process. I think we owe this man an apology because we were calling him the Mog Lester this entire time, but he was the Mog Lested. But anyways, Miquella said that he did this to make the world a gentler place, but I just think he was freaky for his brother.
I'll make the world a gentler place.
Messmer is the son of Marika. He also has a snake inside of him that creeped her out, because snakes were kinda seen as blasphemous. So she plucked out his eye and put a seal of grace on it to limit the power of the serpent. The serpent still scared her, so she sent him to the Land of Shadows. Under his mom's order, he basically genocided the Land of Shadows, hitting them with a bunch of crusades. His mom realized it was a bad idea, so she told him to take the blame, and he kinda did. All this causes him to have mommy issues, but for some reason he's still loyal to her, cause he's just weird like that. Once we kill him, he realizes that he was a pawn for his mother, and he curses her name. He's also heavily implied to be the triplet of Miquella and Malenia, and given that he also bears a curse like them, it's probably true.